friends, it's Julie. In today's video, I am going to share with you 4 carrot-themed spring DIYs using Dollar Tree supplies. And if you are new to my channel, I share DIYs and home decor inspiration, and I do it all on a budget. If that's something that interests you, be sure to hit the red subscribe button as well as the bell so you don't miss any future videos. So for this DIY, you're going to need at least 3 bunches of these orange florals from the Dollar Tree. I would recommend getting 1 extra. I kind of was short. 1 of the foliage picks, some floral tape, and I also have ribbon here, but I ended up not using any ribbon. And to begin, I am just going to cut all of the floral stems apart. Next, I am just removing all of the leaves from the stems because I don't want the leaves in my final wreath. So to make this wreath, I start with 1 flower as the tip of the carrot, and then I'm going to do a row of 2, a row of 3, a row of 4, a row of 5. You kind of get the picture so that each row gets thicker and thicker because I'm trying to make the shape of a carrot with a point at the end. And then each time I'm adding another row, I'm using floral tape to adhere the stems together. Now you're going to see towards the end of this that I was short a couple of flowers. That's why I recommend getting 4 instead of 3. I ended up just making it work by bending the stems to kind of fit the form that I was looking for. The final step for this carrot wreath is just to add the foliage, which is the greenery on the carrot, and I am just going to again attach this with the floral tape as well. For the second DIY, you're going to need 1 of these pots from the Dollar Tree, 1 of the packages of these carrot wooden cutouts. You're going to need some orange twine, some green twine, and some of these dowel sticks, as well as a little bit of paint. So to begin, I am just going to take some of the cashew chalk paint that I have. You can use white or cream or any color that you have, and I'm just lightly dry brushing it onto the pot to kind of give it more of a weathered, more rustic look. And I'm also going to paint 2 of the dowels because that's what I'm going to be using to hold my carrots. Here I am going to take the green twine and I am going to start to wrap the top of the carrot in the green twine. I do use a little bit of hot glue, but one thing I will recommend is only to use the hot glue on the back and or on the edges. Don't use it on the front because then you will see it and it will look pretty messy. Then I will repeat the same thing using the orange twine. So I made 2 of these, one orange and one I used just the natural twine. And next I am going to take the pot and I am going to cut out a piece of the styrofoam in order to attach these little carrot topiaries. So this project is almost complete. The last thing I had to do was attach the wooden dowels to the carrots. And here I am just kind of figuring out how high and how low I want them to be. I wanted them one to be lower and one to be higher. And then once I figured it out, I just hot glued them onto the back of the carrots. And then to cover up the white styrofoam, I just glued in some moss. And to finish it off, I ended up tying a little bow around the pot using this yellow raffia. And I also believe that is actually from the Dollar Tree. But you could use any ribbon that you have. You don't even have to do it if you don't want to. It just was a little something to add another pop of color. For the next DIY, you're going to need some of this grass from the Dollar Tree, some twine, some orange paint, scissors, newspaper, and some tape. I am just going to pull apart 5 of these pieces of the grass. They're all attached at the bottom with like plastic, so they come apart pretty easily. And I want 5 of them because I'm going to be making 5 carrots for my carrot garland. And then I'm just going to take up the newspaper and roll it up and crinkle it into the shape of a carrot. Now to keep the form, that's why I use the tape to wrap it around it. Now using the newspaper and not just wrapping twine around a carrot form that's already made from the Dollar Tree, it really gave it a authentic looking, freshly picked from the garden type carrot, which I liked. It wasn't uniform and perfectly symmetrical. It had parts that were larger and different things like that. So I really liked the way that this worked with the newspaper. Here I am just sticking the grass into the top of the carrot, and then I'm going to secure it with a little bit of hot glue, and then I tape around it as well. And that also, using the tape, helped to form the top of the carrot so it looks like it's growing right out of the stem. Now I don't want this grass to be that long, so I'm just going to give it a little haircut. I'm just going to trim it, and I kind of make each piece a little bit of a different height so it looks a little bit more natural. Then the final step of these carrots is to take a little bit of hot glue just to keep the twine in place, and then wrap the carrot around with the twine. And here is what the carrot looks like. I ended up painting 3 of them orange and then left 2 of them the natural twine. We're going to call those turnips. So this is like a turnip and carrot garland. Now, in order to attach these to a garland, I decided not to just glue them to the twine that's going to be hanging, but to actually make little hooks on the back. So I cut 5 small pieces of the twine and then attached them with hot glue, making little loops so that I could just thread them onto the twine and hang it. This is the fourth and final DIY. I am going to be using these small wooden beads that I bought from Amazon, which I will link down in the description box in case you want to get some. They come in 3 different sizes, and I am going to be using the large one. You're going to need some green twine, scissors, and orange paint. Now, I have never painted wooden beads before, so I have no idea what I'm doing. This is the only way I could think of that wouldn't take me all day to paint them, is to just kind of take some of them and throw them in a little pile of paint and swish them around. If you guys have a tip or a trick on how to paint these things, that would be great. Please tell me down in the comments below how I could do this differently. Now that the beads are dry, I am going to assemble them, and I am going to be using 2 pieces of the green twine, 2 thicknesses, I guess you could say, of the green twine. So I just cut it the length that I think I need, and I am going to make a little needle using the tape so that I could feed it through the beads easily. And then I am just going to thread the beads onto the twine until I've used them all. So the next step is to make 2 green tassels. This is the length that I think will work well. And to make the tassels, you need to roll up your sleeves. No, I'm just kidding. No, to make the tassels, you're just going to wrap the twine around your hand to the thickness that you want it. I think I did mine about 15 times, but if you don't want it as full, or if you want it fuller, you can do more or less. It's all about your own preference of what you like and the thickness you're going for. And you're going to see here, you basically are trying to make a loop of the twine. Then I'm going to take one end and I am going to tie a piece of the twine around it to keep the pieces all together. And I do double knot this. And then I just trim off the ends. And now I'm going to cut the other end of the loop. Now my pieces weren't all perfectly even and they weren't exactly the length I wanted, so I just gave it a trim to the length that I want. And here is the tassel. So next I am going to attach it by, I'm going to cut this piece here on the ends, and then I'm going to feed one of those pieces through the middle of the tassel and then just again double knot it to attach it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other end. I would love to know what you think about these carrot themed DIYs. Please leave a comment down below letting me know which DIY was your favorite. And don't forget to go check out the link to visit Kat's channel down below so you can check out her DIYs.